live from the drama free true crime destination. It's your Wednesday check in with truth, talk, and the stories that won't let go. This is the Midweek Bite. And here's my face. Welcome to the Midweek Bite, ladies and gentlemen. Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw, here on a Wednesday. So good to have you here for this edition of the Midweek Bite. Um, I'm covering two cases today, and these two cases surround something I say often, usually during missing persons reports, but it can also apply not just to these two cases, but cases in general. In fact, if I can locate, yeah, here it is. It usually wraps right around this little hashtag that I created some time ago. See something, say something, do something. I always say within my missing persons reports, if you see something, please say something. That way we can do something. Now, I'm going to break down why I'm saying that in both excuse me, in both my closing argument, but I want to start it off here with my opening statement. We live in a world where silence can be deadly, where the difference between justice and injustice is often a single voice, a witness who chooses to speak. Whether it's a child who vanishes without a trace, a neighbor who hears something in the night, or a digital footprint that just doesn't add up, a simple truth remains. We must speak up. Today, we confront two tragedies, two children, two mothers, two moments where intervention might have changed everything. In California, Maya Hernandez left her children in a hot car while she went to a medical spa to get a treatment for lip filler. While this is happening, her two sons, 3-year-old Mateo Gutierrez and his brother, 1-year-old Emilio Gutierrez, was left in the car with the air conditioner running. The AC cut off after an hour. After a couple of hours, Emilio died with an internal temperature of 104 degrees. Mateo barely survived with an internal temperature of 99 degrees. In Ohio, Bionca Ellis, who is standing trial as we speak, had stolen knives from a Volunteers of America store before walking to the Giant Eagle store next door. There, she openly walked through the store carrying a knife. She followed a mother and her 3-year-old son out of the store and into the parking lot. Ellis stabbed both mother and son. Mother survived. 3-year-old Julian Wood did not survive his injuries. Witnesses described Ellis as emotionless and shrugging when confronted. She has pled not guilty by reason of insanity. These are not just failures of individuals. They are failures of awareness, of intervention, of community. These aren't just legal proceedings. They are echoes of truth that go so much deeper.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Because justice doesn't begin in a courtroom. It begins the moment someone chooses not to look away. That's why I say this without apology. If you see something, please say something. That way we can do something. Because every case covered here isn't just a headline. It's a life. It's a family. It's a story waiting to be heard. Because silence doesn't protect children. Action does. Sometimes all it takes is one person to break the silence. Today, we don't just cover the cases. We challenge the silence. We honor the lives of Emilio Gutierrez and Julian Wood. We ask the question that echoes beyond the courtroom: who saw something and said nothing? And I remind you of this: your voice might be the one that saves another. That's my opening statement. Now let's get down to business here. We start with Maya Hernandez's case. The article is coming courtesy of ABC 23 in Bakersfield, California, where we find out that Maya Hernandez's trial has been delayed. Here's a breakdown. The murder trial for a Bakersfield mother accused of leaving her 1-year-old son in a hot car resulting in his death has been postponed. Maya Hernandez appeared in court Monday for what was scheduled to be the continuation of her jury trial. The judge rescheduled the proceedings for October 20th after both the defense and the prosecution said they had not yet received the coroner's report and were not ready to proceed. Hernandez faces multiple felony charges, including murder, involuntary manslaughter, willful cruelty to a child, and willful harm to a child resulting in death, along with an enhancement charge. She allegedly left her 1-year-old son, Emilio Gutierrez, and her 2-year-old son, actually it's 3, but okay, her 2-year-old son inside a hot car in June while she went to a medical spa on South Real Road. Hernandez claims she left her car and air conditioning running, but it turned off automatically after an hour. Every time I look at this story or every version of this, it's still I don't know what to say. Hey, really. Let's take a look at the video from KGET News covering the same thing. This is the trial postponement of Maya Hernandez.
Our top stories today. The woman charged with murder in the hot car death of her toddler will not be facing a judge today. Maya Hernandez charged with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 2 counts of child cruelty after 1-year-old Emilio Gutierrez was found unresponsive in her car outside of a medical spa on Real Road, June 29th. Hernandez told police she thought the children would be fine because she left the car running with the AC on. Investigators, though, learning that her model of car shuts off after an hour if no action is taken. The toddler was rushed to the hospital with an internal temperature above 107 degrees and later died. Their top stories today. The woman charged with murder in the hot car death of her toddler will not be facing a judge today. Maya Hernandez charged with murder, involuntary manslaughter, and 2 counts of child cruelty after 1-year-old Emilio Gutierrez was found unresponsive in her car outside of a medical spa on Real Road, June 29th. Hernandez told police she thought the children would be fine because she left the car running with the AC on. Investigators, though, learning that her model of car shuts off after an hour if no action is taken. The toddler was rushed to the hospital with an internal temperature above 107 degrees and later died. Hernandez's readiness hearing was scheduled for today, but it has now been postponed to October 6th.
And then again, it was scheduled again for October 20th. She remains in custody on a bail of over $1 million. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just about a tragic mistake. It's about the illusion of safety and the reality of consequence. When we trust machines over maternal instinct, if we put me time over priority of taking care of the children, it's the children who pay the price. And unfortunately for Emilio, that price was heavy, heavy, heavy. Cost him his life. And it always goes right back to why I am so passionate about not leaving a child in a hot car, especially during the summer months. It's the weather is warmer, the the whatever the temperature outside that car is, the temperature inside the car is magnified by it. And leaving a child in a hot car, I've said this many times, you can result in death if you leave him in there long enough. It makes no difference. You can't use "I forgot" as an excuse. Maya Hernandez can't even use that excuse now because she knew this. She left both of her sons in that car. She knows the type of car she has an air conditioner that shuts off after an hour. She left those boys in there to cook. Unfortunately, Emilio did cook to death. Mateo barely survived. As far as the charges go in Maya Hernandez's case, I think she's got the right charges. From murder, involuntary manslaughter, willful cruelty. Yeah, she's got it all. And I gotta say that I truly hope that she gets the punishment she deserves once the verdict is handed down. I'm just going back to the article. Look at those charges once again. Yeah, multiple felony charges including murder, involuntary manslaughter, willful cruelty to a child, and willful harm to a child resulting in death, along with an enhancement charge. Oh yeah, I can see what's gonna. I can already I already get the feeling that's what's gonna happen. As I just stated, the trial of Maya Hernandez will pick up on October 20th. Right now, in a trial that's currently going on, it's the trial against Bionca Ellis. Now, this one I've got to explain before I do any article reading, any showing a video or anything. So let me try to pause the video before it even starts up on here. There we go. Okay. That's set up for me perfectly. Okay. Here's how what we know. Here's what we know. A woman allegedly goes to a Volunteers of America store and I'm gonna use allegedly a lot of as I explain this. She goes to a Volunteers of America store and allegedly steals knives. From there, she walks next door to a Giant Eagle store, openly carrying the knife, one of the knives she stole. She notices a mother and her 3-year-old son and begins to follow them out of the store and into the parking lot. When she catches up with them, she stabs them both. One of them gets stabbed in the face. The mother survives. Unfortunately, the 3-year-old didn't. Think about that, guys. Think about it. And now she's pleading not guilty by reason of insanity. She was previously deemed incompetent to stand trial but ruled fit after months in a mental health facility. Now you think about that. All right. This is day 3 of Bionca Ellis's trial, and on the surface, we've got testimony from DoorDash driver Travis Bush, who witnessed the stabbing and described Bionca Ellis's detachment. We have testimony from police and booking officers who described her behavior after her arrest. But what I want to show you right now may break your heart in two. And we may get a lot of graphic description as to what happened. So what I'm gonna do first is one, I'm gonna drop in this trigger warning because what you may hear may be triggering to your mental health. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. I would honestly ask you I would ask you humbly to take up on that. Protect your mental health. All right. Now that takes care of that part. Next, this is meaning that this is testimony first, courtesy of my good friends at Court TV. I am putting up this copyright. All right, so the copyright disclaimer is done. The trigger warning is done. I am going to. Let me try it again. I want to warn you first, then I'll do it. I'm going to take myself off the screen, and I'm going to mute myself and let the testimony speak for itself. This is testimony from 3-year-old Julian Wood's mother, Margot Wood. And like I said a minute ago, this testimony may break your heart in two. And if it does indeed shatter it, welcome to being human.
I saw a woman stabbing a mother and child. I saw the knife covered in blood. I saw violent motions towards a mother and her child.
Oh, what a dreadful case this is. Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. We're in Cleveland, Ohio for day number 2 of the toddler stabbed homicide case. The question isn't whether the defendant did the stabbing. She did, and her legal team acknowledges that. The question is her sanity at the time. Was she sane or was she legally insane? That's going to be the question for this jury. Again, this is a jury trial before the Honorable John Russo. He is the judge running this trial, and what a great trial he's running. We're in day number 2 and witness number 13 already. So the trial is moving along quite well with arguably the most important witness on the stand right now. And that's Julian's mom, Margot Wood. She's also a victim. There's an attempted homicide charge that pertains to her, as she was also stabbed, just not nearly as bad as her son. Let's go in and listen to the mother of little Julian.
My son Julian, he would have been 4. And my daughter Amelia, who's 1.5 years.
Okay. And ma'am, when was Julian's birthday?
October 29th, 2020.
And his initials would be JW.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So ma'am, are you employed outside the home?
I am not.
Okay. Were you ever employed outside the home?
No.
All right. And suffice it to say that on June 3rd of 2024, had you just had Amelia?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that your mom lives with you?
She does.
All right. And what's her name?
Nazra Hernandez.
And so did you decide to go shopping that day?
I did.
All right. So what kind of shopping were you going to do?
Oh. We were going to buy food for dinner that day.
All right. And so what did you decide to do?
When we went to the store.
Yes. Who decided who was going to the store?
So we were all going to go to the store. My mom, my daughter, Julian, and myself.
Okay.
But my daughter fell asleep. And my mom said, let's not wake her. So it ended up just being Julian and I going.
All right. And so what store did
Giant Eagle.
Sorry. That's all right. And where is Giant Eagle located?
It's in North Olmsted, Ohio.
All right. In Cuyahoga County?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the state of Ohio?
Yes.
All right. And is that Giant Eagle known to a lot of folks in North Olmsted as being the water tower Giant Eagle?
It is.
Okay. All right, so if you could be so kind to tell us, how did you get there?
I drove.
Okay, what kind of car do you have, ma'am?
We have a Kia Carnival. It's a silver minivan.
All right, and so who then actually went to Giant Eagle that day?
Myself and Julian.
All right, so you drove to this Giant Eagle, Watertown, and tell me what you did when you went to the grocery store.
So we got there, we parked, I put him in the cart, and usually around that time they have flower baskets outside. So he helped me pick up some flower baskets, and we went inside, did, bought some candies and things, and we did groceries, and then we went to the self-checkout.
All right, and was Julian in the little seat area?
Yes, he remained seated in the car seat area, or not the buggy area, the seat. Yes.
Yeah. The grocery cart?
Yes.
Okay. And did you put or bring with you some type of blanket in the car seat before, in the cart so he could sit on it?
No.
Okay. So you said you indicated you did a self-checkout?
I did.
All right. Did you have any issues with that?
I did.
Okay. And as a result of that, did you call for some assistance?
I did.
All right. And so did folks help you with that?
She did. She came over. I ended up having to use a card instead of the bill because she said the bill reader sometimes messes up.
All right. So you had to use a credit card instead of cash,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Those machines are very sensitive.
Correct.
So you packed up your own groceries,
Yes.
put them in a cart,
Yes.
and did you walk out of the store
I did.
pushing your cart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so when you were in the store, Mrs. Wood, did you notice anything strange?
No.
Did you notice anybody accost you or say anything to you or acknowledge you? Anything of that sort?
No.
So you continued to push your cart out of the store.
Yes.
And before you left the store, Mrs. Wood, did you notice anyone by you? Did you see anybody? Did anybody talk to you?
No.
Okay, that's interesting. I think many of us were waiting to hear those answers from this grieving mother, because we know the surveillance video shows her swerving her shopping cart to avoid Bionca Ellis. Bionca Ellis is walking right toward her and Julian when they were going to exit the store, and she swerves to miss her, keeps on going. And so for any of you wondering if she saw the knife in her hand, I think this answer tells us that obviously she didn't see it. This is so unfortunate. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we'll hear more from Margot Wood about what happened the day that her little Julian was stabbed to death.
TV.
I'm at North Olmsted, Ohio, Giant Eagle. Someone just stabbed a kid and a lady in the parking lot.
Screams in the parking lot as we were parking or walking to our car, and we saw the kid.
Welcome back to Court TV Live. We have victim Margot Wood on the witness stand right now. So she was a stabbing victim on that dreadful day, June the 3rd of 2024. Fortunately, she survived, but her son Julian did not. He is deceased after that brutal stabbing incident. That is in question. And what's in question about it is not who carried it out, but the state of mind of the person who carried it out. Let's go back in to the courtroom and listen to more from Margot Wood.
I saw her coming, walking towards us, and I noticed she had a knife in her hand. And I said, "Oh no, Julian." So I had the car. I stood in front of the end of the cart, and I was trying to push him back. He was still sitting in the cart, and she stabbed the back of the trunk of a car, and I got scared. But when I was pushing the car back, it fell over. And then she came at me. I'm sorry.
Take your time.
She came at me. Okay.
Some water there for you, too.
But I moved. And she stabbed him in the side of his face. And then she stabbed me.
Take a minute. I'm going to ask a question. Some Kleenex to the left of you if you need a minute. Would you take a sip of water and then I'll have her ask you another question. It's open. Ms. Frawley?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
So, Miss Wood, when she stabbed you, what did you do or what did you say?
I didn't say anything. It was just... I couldn't believe this was happening. It was so fast. I was just trying to... so she wouldn't hurt it.
And what happened next?
And then she stood up and stabbed him in the back. And he was crying. He was crying.
After she stabbed him in the back, what did she do next?
She just walked away. Like nothing. She just walked away.
And, ma'am, what did you do?
I went to go grab him out of the cart. Because he was on his side, and I went to go and I held him. And I just felt blood on my hands. And I said, Julian, Julian, are you okay? And then blood came out the side of his mouth.
Take a minute. I'm going to have the prosecutor ask you another question. Go ahead, take a minute. I'll just take some water again. Take your time. Need some more Kleenex? Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mrs. Wood, once you were experiencing this with Julian, were you calling for help?
Yes.
And were you in fact screaming for help?
Yes.
Did folks start to come around you?
They did.
And did there come a point in time that somebody came by and took Julian and tried to help Julian?
Yes.
Did she indicate at the time she was a nurse?
She did.
Okay. And did other folks come and surround you and try to help you as well?
Yes.
And ma'am, where were you stabbed?
On the top of my right shoulder.
All right.
Oh my gosh, doesn't this just make you want to cry for her, listening to this mother? Who would have thought, after picking out flowers with her son just minutes before this, that then she and her son would both be stabbed? Let's bring in our legal analyst, attorney Matt Roberts. Matt, I want to get some thoughts from you, please, on this grieving mother's awful testimony.
Well, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It just the emotion, you can hear it there. I'm sure the jury can see it. It's just devastating, and it really just highlights as you were pointing out, we wanted to hear the answer to that question. Did she see the defendant beforehand? The monotony of what we do in our everyday lives and the encounters we have with people, and we don't notice those things. And I'm sure that's a moment that she's relived time and time again, looking back at this to say, why didn't I see something? Why didn't I do something sooner? And it's just because it's just part of our everyday lives. And that, again, is the real challenge in this case for the defense to handle. The jury is going to put themselves in this woman's position. They've all been to grocery stores. They've all been in this situation, whether they have kids or not, to be thrust into this situation and then to be asked to potentially say that this woman is not guilty because of her mental illness is going to be just a tremendous uphill battle for the defense.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that, Matt. Tell us a little bit more why you think it may be tough for the defense.
Well, just simply because the jury is going to be, this happens where every one of them has been. Everybody can sympathize with having gone to the grocery store, again, whether you have kids or not. Everybody will be in that situation, and then they are being asked to say potentially that this person is not guilty. They don't necessarily understand what that means, but they know saying not guilty means that the person, is not responsible for what they did. In Michigan, we have an alternative alternative verdict, I should say, that's guilty but mentally ill. And if something like that is available to the jury, I would think that's the way they're going to be leaning, because again, they just don't want to be in that situation where they potentially think they played a role in this woman getting back out on the streets, whether it's immediately or after a period of hospitalization. So a real challenge here for this jury, but that would be the concern for the defense. And if the defense does anything on cross-examination other than get up and say, I'm sorry for your loss, it's criminal malpractice.
Yeah, you're so right, Matt. And I have an answer for you. They're not going to cross her. I'm just getting word on that. So good deal.
So you heard it here first. They're not going to cross-examine Margot Wood. Here's the entire breakdown from the Court TV article. Margot Wood fought back tears as she described the horrific moment. A stranger approached her and her 3-year-old son Julian with a knife outside of a North Olmsted grocery store, ultimately killing the toddler in what authorities say was a random attack. Wood took the stand as the prosecution's 13th witness in the murder trial of Bionca Ellis, who faces 10 felony charges, including aggravated murder and attempted murder. In Julian's 2024 death, Ellis has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Wood, a mother of 3, had planned to go to Giant Eagle with her son, Julian, and her baby daughter. When the baby fell asleep, Wood decided to take only Julian inside. He helped me pick them out, Wood said, describing tongue-tied. Let me try that again. He helped me pick them out, Wood said through tears, describing how Julian assisted in selecting flower baskets outside the store before they went to self-checkout. Wood testified that she noticed nothing unusual during their shopping trip. Julian remained seated in the shopping cart throughout their time in the store, and no one approached or spoke to them. The attack unfolded as Wood was loading groceries into her cart in the parking lot. She had parked facing forward and was opening her trunk when she turned to her right and saw Ellis approaching. I saw her walking towards us, and she had a knife in her hand. She broke as she was breaking down as described as she recounts the attack. Wood says she tried to protect her son by pushing him back in the cart, but Ellis stabbed the back of the car's trunk first. Wood then pushed the cart over, but Ellis came at him again. She stabbed Julian in the side of his face and then stabbed him again, Wood said, pausing frequently to cry during testimony. The attack continued as Ellis stabbed Julian in the back, causing the toddler to cry out. As Wood describing grabbing her son from the cart and seeing blood on his hands. I said, "Are you okay?" And blood came out of the side of his mouth. During the attack, Ellis also stabbed Wood in the top of her shoulder. Wood was taken to the hospital by ambulance, where she received 4 stitches and has a permanent scar. Wood testified that she and Julian were taken to separate rooms at the hospital, where she was later notified of her son's death. Police officers remained with the family throughout their hospital stay. The mother emphasized that her family had no prior connection to Ellis and had never seen her before the attack. According to previous testimony and evidence presented in the trial, Ellis had visited a police station earlier that day, then went to a Volunteers of America store where she stole 2 knives. Surveillance video showed Ellis testing the knives by hitting them against concrete pillars before walking to the Giant Eagle store next door. Just trying to keep my composure here, guys. According to previous testimony and evidence presented in the trial, Ellis had visited a police station earlier that day, then went to a Volunteers of America store where she stole 2 knives. Surveillance video showed Ellis testing the knives by hitting them against concrete pillars before walking to the Giant Eagle store next door. Witnesses testified that Ellis followed Wood and Julian through the store and out to the parking lot, where she carried out the attack before walking away nonchalantly with a bloody knife still in her hand. The defense has acknowledged that Ellis committed the acts, but argues she was insane at the time due to her schizophrenia diagnosis and being off her medication. Woods' testimony concluded without any cross-examination from the defense. It's mind-boggling to me how we can hear this testimony and not feel some kind of way, not feel some kind of empathy for the child, for the mother, for the grieving mother. I mean, she's trying to defend herself and her child while this woman, this out of nowhere, has taken it upon herself to stab both her and the child. And on top of it, witnesses only came up after the fact. Now here's the thing. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was a rupture in reality. And in that rupture, a child's life was stolen. And as testimony continues, the question's gonna remain. It's not just what happened, but whether anyone could have stopped it. We all have the capacity to be an advocate for victims, to be an advocate for ourselves. That's what makes this case and cases just like it so mind numbing. We see a lot of violent acts go down, and we are quick to put up these phone cameras, but we are not quick enough to say, oh yeah, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Sure, sure, I get that old phrase, snitches get stitches. I get that. But let's be for real here. Is it worth the stitches for somebody else's life? Honestly, there's a lot that needs to have happened, and I'm gonna keep an eye on this trial and anything else that occurs in it. But right now, I know this is a short edition of Midweek Bite, and I appreciate you joining me here for it. But I want to end this with my closing argument. Emilio Gutierrez, Julian Wood, two children whose lives ended before they truly begun. But I hear a lot of people say they should have been protected, and I would wholeheartedly agree. Maya Hernandez, Bionca Ellis, two names we now know because something went wrong. Their stories are now evidence, their names now headlines. But what if someone had spoken sooner? What if a neighbor, a friend, a stranger had said, this doesn't feel right? Ladies and gentlemen, let this edition of Bethea'S Byte Reloaded, this edition of the Midweek Bite, be more than just a podcast. Let's let it be a reckoning. I said this at the top of my opening statement. I'll say it now and I will say it every time, and I pray that it carries more weight than it normally does. If you see something, please say something. That way we can do something. Because silence isn't neutral, it's permission. Justice demands more than hindsight. It demands courage in the moment. Justice isn't just about punishment. It's about prevention. And the next child's life may depend on what you choose to do. Today, like always, we don't just report. We remember, we remind, and most importantly, we refuse to look away. Again, I want to thank you all for joining me for the Midweek Bite. I look forward to being with you again late night Friday night for the final word. And hopefully the final word will mean justice is served. So as I go out, as always, I want to remind everyone once again, and to please take this call to action seriously, not just on missing persons, but for just about anything. If something just doesn't set right in your soul, please, if you see something, please say something. That way, we can do something. And I won't have to come back here reporting on another tragedy. Thank you so much for joining me once again, right here at the home for true crime news without the drama, where your opinions matter, where lively debates are encouraged, where your voice is heard, and above all else, justice is served. And it's done with no gimmicks, no drama, and no BS. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bethea'S Byte. And it's reloaded.
Thank you all for joining me here at the Drama-Free True Crime Destination. Be sure to follow Bethea'S Byte Reloaded all over social media and get your coverage of true crime news with no gimmicks, no drama, and no BS. This is Bethea'S Byte, and it's reloaded.